All right, let's talk about one of the most powerful skills you can possibly learn if you want to build a business or a really successful freelance career online. We're talking about performance marketing. If you've ever wanted to know the secret to driving real, measurable results for basically any business, well, you're in exactly the right place. Let's get into it. You've seen it happen, right? It's the biggest question in the digital age. Two businesses launch, both with great products, but one just takes off like a rocket while the other one, well, it's like it never even existed. What is the difference? More often than not, it all boils down to one simple thing. Can people find you? And this quote just nails it perfectly. I mean, think about it for a second. When was the last time you actually picked up a physical phone book? When you need a plumber, or you're looking for a restaurant, or you need to buy a gift, you're not flipping through pages. You're pulling out your phone. And if a business isn't there right in that moment, they are, for all intents and purposes, completely invisible.
And the scale of this it's just mind-blowing. Look at this number. That is not the number of searches per day. It's not even per hour. That's the number of Google searches happening every single second. That's almost 700,000 chances every second for a business to connect with someone who is actively looking for exactly what they're selling. This is the massive ocean of opportunity we're about to dive into.
So, here's our game plan for today. We're going to talk about the modern storefront, then we'll define what performance marketing actually is. We'll look at the two main ways to get seen online, walk through a real-world example of finding customers, and then, the best part, how this all adds up to a seriously high-income skill for you.
All right, so first things first. What is this thing we call performance marketing? Well, think of it as the skill of delivering results you can actually count. It's not just about getting eyeballs on something. It's the science of turning attention into real business. And it's the answer to that whole online visibility problem. And here is the key difference. See, with old school advertising, you'd pay a ton of money for a billboard and just hope for the best. With performance marketing, a business only pays when something specific and valuable happens. We're talking about a sale, a new lead, or even just a click. The whole game is about tangible, trackable outcomes. No guesswork involved.
And because you're delivering those real results, it's an incredibly valuable skill. Just look at these numbers. As a freelancer running Google or Meta ads, you could be making anywhere from 20,000 to over 1 lakh rupees a month from a single client. And why so much? Because you're not an expense, you're an investment. You are directly helping them make more money.
Okay, so when it comes to actually getting seen on a place like Google, there are really two main roads a business can take. Every single company you see online has to choose between these two paths, paid and organic.
So on one side, you've got paid search. Think Google Ads. This is like paying for a pop-up shop in the best spot in the mall. You get instant visibility right at the top, but you're paying rent for every single person who walks in the door. On the other side is organic search, or SEO. This is more like building such an incredible reputation that people naturally line up outside your store. The traffic itself is free, but man, it takes time and a lot of hard work to build that reputation.
And you see this every single time you search for something. You probably just don't notice it. The results at the very top with that little sponsored tag, that's paid search. That company is paying Google to be right there. But everything underneath that, the number 1, 2, and 3 spots, that's organic. They didn't pay for that placement, they earned it.
Okay, theory is one thing, but how does this actually play out in the real world? How do you find the exact people who are looking for what you have to sell? Let's break it down with a little case study on keyword strategy.
So let's imagine a real business. It's a small pottery studio in Toronto. They sell gorgeous handmade ceramics, and they also offer classes for people who want to learn. This is a perfect example for us to see how a small business can be super strategic and find their perfect customers online.
Now, their first thought might be to go after a really broad keyword, something like ceramic mug. But here's the huge problem. If they do that, they are instantly competing with absolute giants like Amazon. It's kind of like a little local boutique trying to outscream a massive department store right next door. It's just not going to happen.
So the much smarter play is to get way more specific. Instead of that super broad term, they could target what's called a long-tail keyword, like handmade ceramic mug. Think about the person searching for that. They don't want just any old mug, they're looking for something unique, something with character, exactly what our little pottery studio makes. And this is the whole idea behind the long tail. On the left side of this graph, you've got those big, broad keywords. Yeah, tons of people search for them, but the competition is insane. As you move to the right, to the long tail, the keywords get more specific.
Sure, fewer people search for them, but the competition plummets. And here's the crucial part, the person searching is way more likely to actually buy something. The numbers tell the whole story. The very specific search, pottery classes in Toronto, gets 3,600 searches every month. That's a perfect, ready-made audience. But here's where a great marketer earns their pay. They think bigger. What about a term like housewarming gifts? That gets over 40,000 searches a month. So our little studio could write a blog post about unique housewarming gift ideas, feature their mugs in it, and tap into that massive audience. That is smart performance marketing. So we've covered what it is and how it works. But now let's talk about the most important part, how you can take this knowledge and turn it into an actual high-paying career.
This right here, this is the language that performance marketers speak. It's not about fuzzy ideas. It's about cold, hard numbers. You don't just say, oh, I made the website better. You say, the changes I implemented to the checkout process improved their conversion rate by 22%. That's the value you deliver, and that's what clients happily pay for.
So you're probably wondering, how do I get there? Well, here's your roadmap. First, get a solid foundation with a great course. Then, and this is key, you have to practice. Don't just read about it, do it. Build a portfolio that shows off your results, even if they're from small personal projects. Then, start hunting for clients on freelance sites, and with every single job, focus on getting better. The better your results, the more you can charge. It's that simple.
And where are these clients hiding? Honestly, they are everywhere. Places like Upwork and Fiverr are fantastic for getting started. But don't sleep on LinkedIn or even just reaching out directly to local businesses you admire. Every single business on the planet needs more customers, which means every single business is a potential client for you.
And really, that brings us to the most important question of all. See, this isn't just about learning a cool new skill. It's about becoming a problem solver. Companies don't hire you to run ads. They hire you to solve their biggest problem, getting more customers and making more sales. So as you start on this path, the real question isn't whether you can learn this. It's whose problem are you going to solve first?